You do not have to buy a specialty bread to have delicious toast at home. This hearty grain bread looks hard, but is so easy. This has a mixture of everything that's delicious. Whole wheat flour, old-fashioned oats, some toasted wheat germ, flaxseed, of course some chopped walnuts, a little bit of molasses for sweetness. All that comes together in a delicious, really hearty bread that is perfect for a breakfast toast, a lunch sandwich, or your favorite brunch item. And all this is coming up on today's Wise Guide. I love a good brunch. I love to have the different items at brunch, but you know what? Sometimes when you go out to a restaurant, one, it is always busy anymore for brunch because you know everyone else is going out for brunch, but also you can have exactly what you want at home. So you can make delicious food, have a few friends over, and isn't there something just extremely casual about a brunch party? And what brunch is not complete without a delicious piece of toast? Often when you think about it and you go out, you know how they throw toast on almost anything you get for like breakfast? It's usually kind of like that thin, gross, pre-sliced bread and they just toast it up. Maybe they butter it, but let's be honest. It's nothing that great and it's kind of an afterthought. A lot of times you just leave it on the plate because you're like, why am I gonna fill up on bread when I want the other stuff? Yeah, I know you do too. That's because it's not good bread. Yeah, I'm here to show you that you can make delicious, hearty bread that is full of grains, wheat, and is delicious and easy. It doesn't have to be hard. You know, I think so often we think of bread as like this long process. We think of that grandma in the kitchen all day making bread, slaving away, kneading it. Let me tell you something. This goes together really quickly, raises pretty fast because I only use instant rapid rise yeast. To start, I use a stand mixer. Why? Because it's easy. If God gives you these wonderful products, you use them. First, in the bowl of your stand mixer, put some whole wheat flour. Then add your rapid rise yeast. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what is rapid, what? Yeah, I know it sounds different. It is not just the little packets, but you can buy it in packets. This is not traditional yeast. You don't have to bloom it in water. It's instant rapid rise. So you just quick throw it in with some of the dry ingredients, which is the whole wheat flour in this case, and then just add your warm water. Warm water is important because it wakes up the yeast. I like to make sure it's around 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That way it is gonna really help bloom the yeast, but it is not gonna kill it. Mix that together just till it's combined. That way you know that yeast is gonna be activated, and then add in all the goodness of this hearty bread. Some old-fashioned oats. Do not use those instant mushy ones. No, use that good old-fashioned oat. It's really nice and hearty. That is the word of the day, hearty. Some dry milk. I know you're thinking that's weird. It's gonna really tenderize the bread, but not add too much liquid. Some toasted wheat germ. I love to keep wheat germ on hand. I actually throw it into a lot of my breads because it adds a nice wheaty flavor without too much flour. A little bit of ground flaxseed. Yeah, it's healthy. Yeah, it has flavor. And you know what? If you think you don't like it, don't worry. You're gonna throw it in there. It's gonna add a good heartiness without even knowing it. Just chop up some walnuts. You could really use any nut here. You could also use like a seed if you want to, like a sesame seed or something else. Just something that was really gonna give it a good texture. Throw those in, and then a little bit of neutral oil. Now, I know you're probably like, what is this neutral oil? I always hear everyone say neutral oil. I don't like to use canola oil or vegetable oil because it can kind of have an off flavor sometimes and it can go rancid pretty quickly, and I just don't really like it. So I always use a grapeseed oil or a safflower oil. Both of those have no flavor and they're delicious to use in things. For sweetness, instead of sugar, I'm adding some molasses. It's a really good all-natural sweetener, and it has just a really good robust flavor. But I'm only adding a little bit, so it's gonna help give the overall flavor, but you're not gonna think, whoa, molasses. Technically, if you really tasted the molasses, that would be called Anadama bread. That has like cornmeal and molasses. It's delicious, but not what we're making. And to finish this off, what does any bread need? It needs salt. You need salt to bring out all the flavors of bread. Extremely important, so it does not just come out like all flat and gross tasting. Before you mix this together, you wanna add a little bit of rye flour. Now, if you don't have rye flour, you could leave it out or supplement with more whole wheat flour or all-purpose flour, but the rye does add a really good nuttiness. Add 1 cup of all-purpose flour and then start mixing that together. Once it's mixing, you're gonna notice that it is not holding together yet and it's still pretty sticky. So you're gonna wanna slowly add another cup of all-purpose. And when it starts coming away from the sides of the bowl, clinging to that middle dough hook, or if you're kneading it by hand, if it starts not sticking to the counter as bad, You know it's about ready. If you need to, you can adjust and add a little bit more flour, but once it pulls away from the sides and it's kneaded for a few minutes in that mixer, you know it's good. When the dough is ready to go, you can lightly flour the surface of your counter, take out that dough, get a few kneads just to make sure it's holding together, and then put it into a well-oiled bowl. Again, I just like to use that same neutral oil, oil up the bowl well, and then turn the dough inside just to make sure it's well coated. You don't want it to dry out or sometimes it doesn't raise as well. Cover it with some plastic wrap and then put it in a warm spot in your kitchen just to raise. You want this to double. With the yeast we're using, that shouldn't take too long, about 45 minutes to an hour. Once it's doubled in size, you can just remove it from that bowl, give it a few kneads again, and then shape it into a loaf to go in your loaf pan. As I do with everything, I spray that loaf pan first. You know, the bread shouldn't stick, but why take the chance? Just spray it. Put the dough right into your loaf pan, again cover it with that plastic wrap and set it until it's doubled in size. Honestly, it does not take long at all. In about 30 minutes, that's gonna be doubled. You can put it right into a preheated oven. It's gonna puff up even more, gonna get really golden and brown on top, a nice kind of crusty outer edge. Once this is baked, pull it from the oven, take it out of that pan and let it cool off on a wire rack. At this point, I love to put some butter on it. Why? Flavor, and it makes it look delicious and glistening on top. Yeah, I know, there's no question here. Put the butter on top. Once you have butter all over the top, just let it sit until it's at room temperature. At this point, you have delicious bread. It could be a sandwich, but I think it is best as toast for a great breakfast or brunch. And here are the top 5 ways I love to have toast or bread at breakfast. First, it's definitely a classic. Good butter spread all over the top, and then one of my favorite homemade jams. I love to use homemade jam. Yeah, it's overdone, but avocado on toast is always delicious. Make a quick little avocado spread and just put that right over the top. If you like it spicy, you can add some sriracha. Another way that I love to have it growing up was cut a hole in the bread, put it in some butter in a skillet, and then break an egg right into it. Who doesn't love an egg with their toast? I mean, if you know me, you'll know I love peanut butter. I like to spread it thickly on a good piece of toast and add sliced banana. I mean, we all grew up eating bananas and peanut butter, come on. And one of my last favorite ways is a good spread of Greek yogurt, a few fresh raspberries, and a drizzle of honey. I mean, you cannot go wrong with any of those things. I love all the different ways that you can have your favorite toast at breakfast or brunch. If you agree, make sure to like, share, subscribe. For the recipe, go to the description box, and until next time, let's get brunching.